bird comes from
Okay.
not Judas, but
This the infancy gospel of Thomas. It has breathing the life into the birds.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
it has a lot of childhood stuff that's not in the Bible in there. It has I think a lot more about Mary Magdalene than should be in there.
I just realized like another inversion they put on the gospel account is in I think it's the Gospel of Judas. They say Jesus inspired Judas to betray him, when in the in the Gospels,
Yeah, and there's like
it
they
says
share
that
like a wink at the final supper. They like they wink at each other like we know what's up. Everybody else here is just hanging around.
no, but in the actual synoptics, it says that Satan entered his heart. So they invert that. They twist it around in the Gnostic ones. It's so crazy just in how many places and how subtly they invert stuff. And at the core of it, it's all about salvific knowledge.
Yeah. If he can't beat you, he'll co-opt you.
Oh.
Man, I'm having some weird connection issue right now. Everyone's really choppy for me, so.
Yeah, you're pretty choppy too. Yeah.
Choppy? Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Do we have a Bible bot in here?
I think so, yeah.
We do, I see it. Dang, there's 11 bots in here.
Up, down,
Up, down.
left.
Oh, it's the Contra code. Up, down, left, right, left, right.
What's up, man? You have a mic?
Hi, David. Are you talking to
I
me?
can hear you.
Hi.
No, I was on the up, down, left, and round. But what's up, RF? What's up?
Just rename him Konami Code. Just call him that. CBA to talk is British code.
What's that mean?
Apparently I'm podcast staff. What? When did that happen?
Oh yeah, actually, you were in
Okay.
the podcast stuff for like a couple of days. But yeah,
Oh, okay, all right. I'm
You're
fine
right.
with it. I just was like,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know I was
Been
important.
enlisted.
yeah. So far, I mean, I tried to write some rules down. What do you think? Like in the rules
noticed that.
section. I mean, I put the rules in the rules and info. What do you think of the rules so far?
I think it's good. I just think they should be able to type in the welcome,
They
though.
are. They actually.
I agree. And also, should we be allowed to curse in the rude arguments section?
Yes,
Because
in the rude argument section.
it is
You
rude.
can curse if you
Oh, well, shit. Man, I should have typed this whole damn time.
I think you should add that you have to adhere to the Discord terms of service and all their rules, so that the server doesn't get banned.
Yeah, so I mean, basically what you're saying is that we should put on the rules that you can use cuss words in the rude argument section, but not in the friendly argument section. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
yes.
And someone else also mentioned that you should post up there that people need to be following not only Discord specific rules, but Discord
Discord
rules.
specific rules. I mean, what are the Discord specific rules?
Let's see if I can find the link.
You mean the ones issued by Discord?
Yeah.
Has somebody been breaking those?
I didn't know that Discord it actually had rules for itself. I thought it's like a very open kind of.
Fascists.
They have a terms
Yeah.
of service. Some
Here's
of them
what-
are kind of conduct
Here's
rules.
what's happened to servers. People, like, if they want to sabotage a server, they'll join and then make a fake account and then have that account spam like a bunch of racist or anti-Semitic stuff, and then they report it, and then the server gets taken down.
Oh my god, guys! I just figured out what was going on. Netflix was causing my For some
Now you're
reason, my
streaming.
problem.
Hi,
I
there
wasn't
you are.
streaming anything. I just had a page open.
Oh.
I wasn't even streaming
Bandwidth.
anything.
That
Yeah.
bandwidth is gone.
It literally killed my bandwidth.
Although, yeah, it did.
That's good to know. Even though I mean, I literally was not streaming anything. It was just a page I was scrolling, looking at Bible stuff on there. But yeah.
See, as soon as you told Netflix that you're interested in the Bible, that's where you went wrong.
Oh, it's known that for a
canceling all
long time.
Canceling all their content.
They have all sorts of Bible stuff on there.
I wanted to bring this up a while ago, but I didn't get a chance. I really like grape nuts. Talking about cereal, Bingels. Would you like to weigh in?
That's random.
Grape nuts.
Grape nuts. Yeah.
Is that like a brand, or is that just literally grape nuts?
It's like old people food.
Literally
Grape-
grape nuts.
Grape nuts is not a thing. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Yeah,
you can
it
make
is.
a nut
Maybe the
out of a grape.
seeds. Maybe it's just they call it nuts instead of grape seeds.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I think that grapes are technically nuts. I believe so. The entire thing, right? Because a nut is not defined by like a hard shell. It's like the seed. You know, I think grapes are technically nuts. But however,
This is
it's
so
just it's
random.
barley.
Oh, okay. Barley's really
Basically,
good.
just barley. So
Barley's very good
I
food.
don't know. I still like good old Cheerios. With lots of sugar on
Nature's
top.
Path. Nature's Path makes my personal favorite cereal.
I don't eat a ton of cereal, but I usually just have like the shredded wheat cereal.
Oh, I don't like shredded wheat. I
I'm
like
boring.
the Special K strawberry cereal.
I'll find Nature's.
Are you like looking for a new cereal?
Also, RF, I wanted to ask you. I asked you in the staff section, but what do you think about changing the atheist role?
So far, I mean, we did the voting process. I mean, people voted so far. How are the votes coming on?
Let's see. I
Why,
think last
why
I
would
checked,
you,
it was
out of curiosity, why would you want to change it?
It's not a big. I don't like
You know,
the
David
term
proposed
atheist.
the idea.
I think I brought it up.
I don't. Yeah. Go ahead. Explain why did you want to actually change it?
Just for my curiosity, if you.
Oh, I find it as like a very. They did a survey out there. Who would you rather be associated with, an atheist or a rapist? An atheist got worse than rapist for some reason. I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
that's a hot
Well,
take.
well,
Yeah, the-
one category contains all the others.
Come on, you can't
No.
say the cereal doesn't look good.
So what would atheists be called then?
Non-theists or like non-believers.
Why not just
I
make
thought
multiple
non-believers
atheists?
sounded like derogatory. That seems derogatory to me.
I voted no. Keep it. Just keep it.
I voted
I mean,
no because I thought somebody else had decided that they wanted to call you guys non-believers, and I was like, well, that's rude. Let them call themselves atheists.
I didn't vote because I didn't know there was a vote because I'm busy.
Yeah,
But-
where's this vote?
I posted it in the atheist-only section
Oh, okay.
because I felt like the atheists should decide what they want to call us.
But okay,
Now,
but
now
that's
we got some Christians in the vote.
that's a
Why don't you just make
okay.
another category of non-theists and if they want to be called atheists, they'll ask to be called atheists.
So in my
Well,
in my
already-
experience, there's like 5 different like classifications for atheists that they could classify themselves as that I've heard of, anyways.
They don't like to nail
So-
themselves down on anything, do they?
Well, there's some atheists who just, you know, they're just like, for instance, there's the type of atheist that's just like, I don't really care very much, right? And they just, you know,
Casual atheists.
you know, agnostic
I'm a
atheists.
past atheist.
They don't believe, but they don't care. Agnostic atheists is what I understand that to be. And then there's, you know, the atheist who doesn't believe, but does have a care about, I guess, theology to some extent. And then there's, you know, like anti-theist, right? That
They're
actually.
not allowed in here. I didn't have it.
So,
And I worry if we make separate brackets for all of them, that the sidebar will get really cluttered.
maybe. Yeah, I'm just telling
Whatever
you.
you like. Whatever you like.
I don't really care.
either
I'm
way.
just giving you information at this point.
I mean, I don't really care either, but I don't want to exclude anybody who feels
I would
like.
recommend heathen.
Oh yeah, I would like to. That's funny.
You want the heathen tag?
I'd like the heathen tag.
I think it's funny too that atheist is the only role I can see that's actually lower than the bot role. Everyone else is above the bots.
Can I just say it's very sad to me that we don't have any like actual Christian women in here. I want to meet one Christian woman in Discord. That would be very nice.
I know that Anna's in here.
Can we all take a second
She
to
counts.
appreciate the Ezekiel 49 cereal?
Cinnamon raisin? Why is Ezekiel 49 cinnamon raisin? I don't understand.
It's just a flavor.
Wheat, barley,
Oh,
beans,
it's a
and
flavor.
lentils.
It's actually really, really crunchy.
What even
and,
is
like,
Ezekiel
hard.
49? Take also onto the wheat and barley and beans and lentils.
I don't know if he intended for those all to be mixed up in the same dish, but you guys do what you want.
Well, he said make bread of it. That's totally not bread. So,
I know, but it's.
and then they just take it completely out of context too. It's like, yeah, that's not. He wasn't talking. Never mind.
Dude, that
You're
is
gonna chew it up anyway.
It's like dense too. I don't know if y'all have ever
Yeah,
had
it
it
is.
before. It's like
It
it's like
is.
eating like a soft rock.
Yep.
Ugh. It's
I've
like
had-
Arabic desserts. Like all Arabic desserts are all like that. They're like so heavy. It's like holding
So wait.
a lump of gold in your hand.
So wait, we're debating about atheist terms, but why do we have vegan as like a defined category?
We're
Why
not.
is that?
I think we're more like a broad, general,
No,
decision.
I mean, there's literally people who only have a vegan, and it's just vegan, and I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
RF invited me in here because I was a vegan.
Yeah,
He wants
basically-
all different
yeah,
people.
Basically,
said that?
I mean-
the philosophy
I mean-
behind that was
Like
that,
we could.
yeah,
RF wants a melting pot.
There's vegan. Okay, all
There's
right.
a place for theology and and discussion of veganism. It's a philosophy, theology,
Okay.
morality kind of a discussion.
All right, I didn't know this. I just thought it was a way that you choose to eat. I had no idea there was philosophy.
Well,
Oh yeah.
they only choose.
It only describes a diet, but most people go to it for either like environmental or ethical reasons.
Wait a sec, you're not a lifestyle vegan as well? You don't like stay away from clothing that harms animals?
Oh, you're right. I'm an idiot. Jesus, don't tell the other vegans. They'll take my card.
Okay.
Don't tell the other vegans.
Dude, so from what I've learned about veganism, oh, he's gone. He's still exiled.
He's
after
afraid.
Don't burn all his clothes.
Now they're gonna know, and I'm just.
Oh, there we
busted.
go. Wait, who left?
that. We
We
didn't.
made a
thought-
comedic exit there.
We thought you felt like you were busted and you had to leave, or else you would get like,
We're gonna start tearing apart your worldview right now.
your vegan card was gonna get taken away.
Oh yeah.
Vegan.
They're gonna take my powers. They're gonna take my badge and gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be a lifestyle of if it doesn't include like not buying wool and stuff like that, then technically you're supposed to call it like plant based or whatever. But it's really just kind of
That's funny. I never knew that. I just. That's so interesting. I had no
During
idea.
my first deployment overseas, one of the people in my unit was a vegan, and he was full on like lifestyle vegan. Didn't do any kind of, as far as he could take it, no animal products were like touching his body or anything like that. And he had such a hard time. He lost a ton of weight. He could practically only eat like chips most of the time because of like
Wearing
mission restrictions. and stuff like
Polyester
that.
all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had to wear certain.
That was really hard.
Yeah, it was difficult. He kind of sucked. I was very impressed that he could make it, and I used to ridicule him at the beginning. Like, there's no way you're gonna do it. Just eat meat now, and suck it up. Make a one-time exception. But he made it as far as I know, he made it the entire 15 months without any, breakdown into,
Kelsey,
non-veganism.
I just saw your post. I'm I'm sorry. You're the only one.
Huh?
No, I'm not actually mad. I just think it's funny.
Well, there's that one girl that comes in and yells about the Muslims.
I haven't been here yet for
Wait,
that.
Oh yeah,
Who's that? I
that
wanna
was
meet her.
actually
She's right there, Alina.
Oh, I've heard about her.
She
Women
just
are
goes
just
a mile a
rare in
minute, man.
Discord in general. I've found in many Discords, anyways.
Yeah, it's probably a lot like Xbox Live. You know what I mean?
Well,
The girl
my-
in here, cool.
The Discord community that I'm a part of, like, there's quite a few women in there, but like other than that one, most Discords don't have a lot of women in them. I've found.
What's the
anyways.
topic of that one that you're in?
It's not a topic. It's like just we're a group of friends that made a Discord from a community that severed, basically. So we were in a community, the community severed, and we went off and made our own little group, and had a bunch of people then join it and stuff. Yeah. So it's like it's like a big group of friends. We're just all kind of tightly knit.
I want to make a Discord for my family, so we can all just I got family all over the country and stuff, and we could sit around and chat like we're all together.
That's a
That'd
good
be cool.
idea. Bring-
But
You can-
do you guys think that this topic is well, I don't want to say male dominated, but do you think it's
No. I have a very close woman friend who I do Bible studies with.
Well,
Very
she's
wise
actually,
person.
it's actually, she's right. It is I think philosophy and all that stuff in general is male dominated.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Male dominant.
One of the kind of standing jokes in Christians around my age is that it's just all women, and just any time that a man walks into the church, they get jumped on. At least
How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
Okay. Early or late or mid?
Early.
Okay. Can I come and live where you are, because I wanna be there right now.
I thought that was kind of the deal around the nation in my age group.
There's no women anywhere in
Ever.
oh my god.
So-
and if there are women, they're all old. They're all above 60. And I'm just this sucks.
See, what I understand it to be is that, at least from the I listened to a discussion about this a period of time ago. They were saying that what tends to happen is younger women, 16 to 25 or 28, they tend to be less proportioned in church than men, and then it flips at a certain point in time.
Yeah, it does. But it sucks because But then there's a lot of women. I know quite a few women who are disenfranchised with at least the churches in their area. They're just I don't want to go there because it's not very good. The people don't seem genuine to them, and so they just don't. They don't attend, but they're still really, really good believers who read their Bible every day, pray every day, all that kind of stuff. They just can't find a church that they feel good in, basically. So
But then I also think there's a bit of a difference between, just being a Christian woman or an atheist woman or a Muslim woman or whatever, but then also going out and finding places to argue about it.
Argue? I mean, I don't know if it's so much about arguing.
Not argue, but discuss.
It's an aggressive behavior to want to, convince somebody else to change their mind. It's somewhat, you know what I mean?
Kelsey, you're probably getting kind of a skewed view as well, because overwhelmingly the vast majority of the discussion I do about Christianity online is not arguing. It's seeking to understand with people and so on. So
yeah, I misspoke there. I did not mean to say argue.
Well, that's what
I know what you meant though. Men are just more aggressive in stating their opinion most of the time, and so you just see men arguing about their opinion more.
Yeah, I think, and it's also interesting to me that a lot of Christian discords, at least that I've been into, is very different from being in a physical place talking to people, right? People just are different in Discord in general than actually in a physical location with other people, right? It's a completely different environment from what I'm used to. I find people are I find people are a lot more calm, at least in person, and a lot more, like you can tell they're not trying to argue with you. They're just trying to talk to you, right, and have a discussion, right? But
Yeah.
it's a lot harder because communication just through voice is not as easy as communication when you can see the gestures a person is making and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, man, I'm a big hand waver.
Oh, me too. I flail all over the place. Even when I'm talking to people on Discord, I'm a big flailer.
Yeah, I know.
I
Knocking
compare
my
myself.
coffee over.
I compare myself to Matt Smith. Yeah. I don't know if anyone knows who Matt Smith is, but
Oh, I thought you. I'm thinking Trey Smith.
no, Matt Smith. Like there's this joke made in one of the in the show that he's in. They're like, can you ever talk without flailing your arms about? He's like, yes, I can. No, I can't.
Can't even answer this question without doing
I
it.
can't even answer this question without doing it. Yeah. I'm a very expressive individual, so
I'm actually pretty reserved in real life. I don't talk when I don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
I mean that's not bad.
Everybody should be like that.
Yeah.
You
In
think
my
so?
opinion, I mean, I've been trying really hard to find more women and bringing them into. I mean, that's why we actually created this feminist rule so far. I've been trying to bring them more in order to because usually all Discord servers are somehow male dominant, and that somehow, in my opinion, destroys the balance in some ways. I mean, you don't get to have the voice of the opposition. Another side of the argument. And I've been trying to so far. I've been trying to talk to Eve, trying to get her into conversation, try to talk to so many other women. I just add them, bring them to the.
I mean,
go ahead.
I have to add to that. Like for me personally, like I do. One of my really close friends who's a woman. We do these really deep Bible studies together, and having that has been invaluable in the study because it adds a perspective that you don't necessarily you can't get it from a man.
So,
you just can't.
Did you say that
and
perspective is invaluable?
Yeah.
Or valuable, or is that the wrong word?
That's the right word.
Okay.
It means you can't place a value on it.
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
It's too valuable, basically, to place a value on because you get so much from it, and and the studies that we put out from that have been so much better for it, and I wouldn't know what to do without sort of that perspective. Now that I've been able to work with it, it means a lot to have that around, even though it's the woman I'm not dating or anything. It's just the fact she's getting married. But I mean, it's
actually it is useful.
It's really great.
I wish I could help you, man, but I found my good wife completely by accident. I was definitely not looking for a good wife.
Relationships are accident. I think that's. True marriage, in my opinion, is an act of God. I mean, it is. I see it as a form.
Yeah. Well, even this platonic relationship that I have, where we do these studies, I feel like God brought us together to do exactly that, and to have sort of a ministry that I never thought I would do a ministry like this, but it's sort of happening,
I feel
and
like
so.
You see, at this point, God tries to somehow connect certain kind of people together. I don't think humans can do much about this, but it's kind of like something so. It is. I mean, it is beyond explanation. Sometimes when you work so hard to find someone, you fail. But sometimes when you let go, you will find it is basically by accident. And I have been like so many people telling me about this. You know, I find my good wife, I find my girlfriend, you know, by accident. I don't think that's accident. I think there's a higher power at that point, you know, in work to bring.
Oh yeah, I mean we're perfectly suited for each other. I'm outgoing and she's reserved, and together we, you know, I've learned a lot of humility from her, and she's voicing her opinion a lot more now, you know, and just
there's a lot the male can learn from the female, and the female can learn from the male, even when you don't end up getting married. You know, like there's a lot you can grow from, and I found myself. I've grown a lot from multiple different sort of tiers of relationships with females, you know, that I couldn't have grown from just with a relationship with a male, even if it wasn't. Even if it was platonic.
Don't try that. Just don't try that.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm talking about platonic. I'm talking about
I
know. Settings, okay, in both settings. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to be in a romantic relationship to grow.
Yeah, you know, there are so many ways to have a relationship with different people. You know, you don't necessarily have to be so close.
Oh yeah.
Well, I recommend the dating sites, man. I mean, as long as
I'll do it eventually.
As long as you're not like stupid about it, you know, you could.
I told you, man.
About somebody.
I told you, man. I said like I don't have time right now. I'll do when I have time.
Oh, the guys, Alex Jones came on. Did you see this, guys?
Is Alex Jones in here?
Wait, what?
Alex? Wait, no, he's not.
Yeah, he's in here. It's him too. Look at the picture. It's him. Clearly,
it's not him. Some person just made it.
I don't see him voice chat. Where is he?
He's not. It's just someone made a Tucker Carlson account and someone made an Alex Jones account.
Is he in Welcome?
You don't know that it's not him, Valen.
I absolutely know that it's not him. You know why?
No evidence.
I kind of think that Valin is right because, you know, every time I speak to him, he just tells me to buy InfoWars products.
Oh, can we take the
InfoWarsShow.com/show? Just give me buy InfoWars stuff.
Yeah, before the globalists shut us down.
And give.
It's totally a bot. I mean, I swear.
Eric, can we take his
total
tip of the spear? I want to hear him talk.
He's not going to come in, man. It's probably just a bot.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna manage users. I'm gonna take.
It's a really sophisticated soundboard bot, though.
Probably. I mean, it very well could. You know how easy it is to make a soundboard for Discord? Like, there's an app you can download for free that's really well done.
I'm gonna Duke Nukem you guys.
Oh yeah, guys.
I shouldn't have told him that.
By the way, I mean, I think there is an application. I went to this useless server, eChat, the other time, and there was a guy. His voice was singing. When he spoke, it came like a robotic.
Auto-tune.
I mean, a robotic, very, very. You know, I think he actually joined this server. Fabio, but be careful. This guy, Fabio. Yeah.
Wait, did you say Fabio? Fabio? Wait, did you say Fabio? Oh my god, that is awesome.
That sounds terrible to listen to.
You know who Fabio is, don't you?
Of course, but it's not the real Fabio.
No, I mean there is no.
You can ruin my dreams. I can ruin yours.
No, Fabio is just a character from a book. He's not like a real person.
Fabio is real, all right. He's not. You mean he's not real? I thought his real name was Fabio. It's not.
There's like he comes from a series of women's like.
Well, yeah, but I thought his name was Fabio.
In the book, he's not a real person.
Just a stage name. I never read any of the books. Did you?
No, but I saw them in the bookstore.
It says right up there. Buy InfoWars products.
With Dr. Group's help, we have developed the ultimate male vitality supplement
I'm
with
telling you,
8
it's the
concentrated super herbs. This is the answer to the globalist war on male vitality with the estrogen
Alex
mimickers.
Jones
We've
needs
added the
company
food, the
too.
water supply. And now our test pilot,
Alex
Never
Jones
know.
has
Dr. Edward
all
Group
of the
is
people
here
that
to
work
test
for him as
his
company.
greatest
All
invention.
the
Doctor?
wackies.
Thank you,
That
Alex.
kid,
I will
I
now
like
take
that
2
Owen
droppers
Schroyer
to
guy,
test
because
this
I
ultimate
was
male
getting into
vitality
the
formula.
politics during the election. I got sucked in, so
Ladies
I
and
liked his
gentlemen.
little street interviews. But as soon
I
as he
thought it
started
was-
working for Infowars, he just
Dr.
started
Group.
like mimicking Alex
will
Jones. It was
activate my
so
muscles by
creepy.
doing
It's
I
like I
love-
can picture him
Gentlemen,
following
this is
Alex
it.
around all day
This
long,
is the
taking
move.
notes.
This is un.
I loved watching
Unprecedented.
Alex
Ladies and gentlemen, we're
Jones
gonna see what
yell
happens
at
right
the people from the Young Turks at the Democratic convention.
Oh, I
It
thought
was
that was
glorious.
like a setup, like how would he even get in there? And then they let him stand there for like,
Oh no! He was
goading him.
dude. He had his own booth at the Democratic convention.
Yeah,
he had
but
his
they're
own
like
booth.
internet propagandists,
Yeah,
left
yeah.
wing and right wing, like
Yeah, no, that's
they
why
feed
it's
each
funny.
other.
That's why it's funny.
The young Turks actually, it is confusing. They used to be on internet. Now they have like a kind of like looks like they have a television channel for themselves. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't pay
said-
attention
and,
to the Young
Alex Jones
Turks
actually
anymore.
went to see them, and it was actually really funny. They got into a fight, and
Yeah, they
Saint
did at the
Uger
Democratic
actually
National
wanted to
Convention.
beat
Yeah,
him. Beat Alex Jones.
Yeah,
it
and
was,
then
it was
what's
great.
his name? Jimmy
The
Dore
woman-
spit in
The
his
woman,
face.
the woman cussed at him and
Yeah.
threatened to beat him up.
Like, I actually appreciate Jimmy Dore. Like, he's a dirty commie, but he actually like tells the truth about the Democrat Party and everything. So I could stomach him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a funny
The young
interaction
Turks basically they
that I
started
enjoy.
off internet talking with each other, and their voice grew up so big over time. They actually ended up like a form of competition to someone like Alex Jones.
I heard they got like a big grant from the DNC or somewhere, or took a check
Probably.
from Hillary Clinton directly.
They're very far left wing, like they're very radical left.
Somebody titled them, like Saint Uger is the Bill O'Reilly of the left. That is actually
Is Bill O'Reilly even a thing anymore? Is he like even a thing?
barely,
Barely.
I mean, he
Yeah, nah. But their best video is the election night meltdown. That's the best Young Turks content
Yeah.
around.
Oh no, I love the video of that one lady just like screaming in the street when Trump became president. It was like
Oh,
hilarious.
that was like that was a crisis actor. Like, she was there to be on the news to try to get a bunch of people to scream with her or something.
I think she was just
You
an
can see
idiot
her.
who legitimately did that. Like, I don't know. I think she legitimately.
You
was
think
just-
she like, cause she like slides in, she sits down, she's all calm, she's like looking around to make sure that like the camera's on her and stuff, and then she like
I don't remember that at
ready
all.
goes. There's video of like, there's a longer video of her like acting natural, and she's like looking around like out the corner of her eye to see if people are looking before she does it.
I don't
Maybe
know,
she's just a
man.
wacko, but
I think she's a
I think she was
wacko.
working for the news, like so they could show, oh, here's an upset person.
I think she's just a wacko. There's a lot of wackos on election day, man. They caught a lot of footage of
it takes all
wackos.
kinds.
Yeah. That was fun though to watch all that
Apparently
craziness. I was like, you guys
wackos get so famous, Everybody that has like a radical side. Over time, a whole lot of people start listening to them. It is like so.
Oh yeah.
it's radical in it,
People listen for
People's
shock value too,
appetites.
even if you don't like it, you watch it for the shock of it.
Dude, I have to admit, I did listen to Alex Jones a little while just because it was funny. I'm like, the frogs are making you gay, man.
Because I just think of like when I first started watching them, 7, 8
what's
years
crazy
ago,
about
and I
that,
was
Valor?
believing all that.
That's
crap.
actually worse. The water in I can link the video, but apparently it's actually reversing the sex, not just making them gay. It's actually reversing.
Apparently the frogs are like making people change sexes and like
Yeah.
There's like a chemical.
It's the thing that happens to those frogs.
Yeah.
To those frogs, to the frogs.
Frogs don't
What's the chemical that's changing the sex?
I don't know. I don't care enough.
It's not. No, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I don't know.
I thought the theory was that it was an excess of estrogen from birth control pills
Let me
that
just
was
say,
then entering the water supply through the toilet.
high-strung, if you will.
Let's not call Alex Jones's
It only gets worse
rantings
and
a
worse.
theory.
And by the end, I don't know if those sounds he's making.
Dude,
anymore.
okay, you know one of the best
So
videos
I don't
ever?
want to overhype
This is
it,
amazing.
but I had a lot of fun.
Alex
watching
Jones,
listening to this. So here's Glenn Beck
on
healthcare. Let's
Joe
do some
Rogan.
rational
Joe Rogan got him like doped out on smoke and stuff and whatnot, and he just started going off. Like he said stuff that he never even stuff that he would even say on his own show. It was the best thing ever. He was talking about how like all of the government people believe in like the higher consciousness, and he was like going into like how like the aliens taught them the higher consciousness of the pyramid, and like he was talking about all this, and I was like, oh my, what is he even saying?
Eddie Bravo took the opportunity to try to get him to tell the truth about 9/11, and he still managed to skirt it.
Yeah, it was.
Oh
it
God,
was
Eddie
glorious.
Bravo's crazy.
I love Eddie Bravo. He's the only one of those guys that I pay
Eddie Bravo's
attention to.
Sorry.
At least he questions authority, man.
Oh God, in the dumbest ways though. Like I'm all for questioning authority, but
It's
No,
subtle.
he
He's
dumb-
not being dumb.
dumb.
Here's the reason why it comes across that way is because he wants to be invited back on the show. He just like drops little hints, and he doesn't really, argue too much. He's just like, okay, all right, look into it.
it's definitely. I would suggest it's not intelligent.
But you totally.
Well, I'm not
you guys,
accusing him of being intelligent.
Seriously though, if you want a good laugh, watch the Alex Jones on
Joe
Rogan.
I've seen it. Oh,
It's
it was
hilarious.
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you heard this like Glenn Beck?
Get the prostate treatments and have to come
Him
to this
stalking
country
Glenn
to
Beck?
get it.
I don't know.
So you're
Did
right.
that actually
You're right.
happen?
We should
was
adapt
talking?
all
Tell us
of
about
those
that.
things. And Canada has
Tell
a
us
great
what you heard
health
about
care.
that, Kelsey.
That's why people are
Hey, so
suing.
this is a
That's
thing that
why
Alex
in
Jones
Canada they
does.
have a
He
lottery.
confronts
They have a
people and
lottery
he tries to like bait them
Who
into
gets
like
to
saying
go
stuff,
see a doctor this
And I just
month in
linked
Canada?
a
Go ahead. How about the
compilation
Netherlands?
of his
How about the
confrontations over
Netherlands?
the
Oh my
years.
God, I can't wait to watch this
It's a
later.
long one because he does this a lot.
This is going to be great. Thank you, Doberman. This is great.
Tell me,
No,
Kathy, about the
I
insurance program
I'm
that
an
they do
Alex
have
Jones
in France.
connoisseur.
Tell me about
Okay,
it.
so
Hold on. Let Glenn Beck for 1 minute. He's going to freak out. And this is so funny. Just hold on.
If they
Just
have
1 minute,
a
hold on.
problem, all they have to do is walk into the clinics or the hospitals and
Kelsey,
sign their name.
said
The
something in
doctors
the
do
channel. I
not
wanted to
have
hear
to
more
be
about it.
bothered
Like,
signing insurance
he did
forms
something
In other
or
words,
dealing with
a
different
person.
Yeah,
Hang on, I want to make sure I understand. So a non-citizen
going
can go
somewhere
over to a
to a
hospital
event or something,
and walk in and get emergency treatment. That never happens here.
Political stuff. Like,
I'm giving you a logical answer.
I'm doing personal stuff, and no experience just
You're
would not.
right.
Where's your logic?
Yeah.
What would you
See,
do?
Alex Jones used to
What would
have
you
some
do
validity,
to
like in
change this
2004,
healthcare system
for a little
the
while.
better?
Like there was
After all,
some genuine
every time
stuff that he
people
was
bring
doing
up
that was
costs,
really
they
cool,
don't
but
care about
he
the
just went off the
$trillions
rails.
to all the banks and all the credit card
Adam Green,
companies.
if you know Adam Green from No More News, he's been really like bombarding Alex Jones with well, he does videos with like evidences that Alex Jones ain't telling the truth, So they had him on the show with Owen Schroyer last week, and he actually got a lot of the stuff out that he's been like talking about and stuff. He was getting interrupted and stuff all the time, but I guess they're gonna have him on regularly to now like give counterpoints to InfoWars propaganda.
So there was one bit of thing that I really appreciate what Alex Jones did for, and that was the stuff about the secret organization that of world leaders that meets. I can't remember what they're called right now.
Bilderberg.
Yeah, the Bilderberg group. That stuff was really good. The stuff he did on the Bilderberg group back in the day.
Yeah,
that
we
was
wouldn't
good
even know
stuff.
about that if it wasn't for him, probably.
Yeah, and it was real. It's a legitimate thing, and like
yeah, Ronald
he's not
Reagan
the
was
only
one
So
of them.
far, I still
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
understood much about his Bilderberg, that kind of thing he was saying. Can you summarize what was the what is this?
Yeah.
Bilderberg?
It's like a weekend retreat for politicians.
It's not a weekend. It's not just a
Talking
weekend
about
retreat.
Bohemian
Like
Grove?
it's world. No. But I'm not. I'm not talking about Bohemian Grove. That is another thing that's real. But I'm talking about the Bilderberg group, which what they do is they meet and world leaders, not just like people from America or something. It's like all sorts of world leaders. We've seen like the Queen of England, different things. All sorts of people meet, and they all meet together in like a hotel somewhere in the world. It's different every year, right? But they all meet up in this hotel in like tinted window cars, and they don't allow anyone on the premises. Even if the law states that you're allowed to be on the premises, the police will arrest you if you try to go on the premises during this time period. And essentially, what we understand is that they meet to talk about world politics and like economy and all that kind of stuff in complete secrecy and privacy, right? So what are they discussing? What are they doing? We don't know, but they're doing something secretive and talking about that kind of stuff. So
members, do you know, I mean, who is like, do you think like Rothschild are one of them? Who do you...
Well, they have presidents, they have, prime ministers, they have, like pretty much anyone that is a major player on the world stage, you can imagine they probably are part of the Bilderberg. Right? Like...
What happened?
What are you laughing at?
I swear I thought he'd jump right up, but he didn't.
Oh, you're watching the video?
Yeah.
No, the one you posted, Eric.
This is like the funniest videos. This is the time that I actually ended up on the floor laughing.
It's like you couldn't do any better if you were a comedian.
Yeah, for like 1 minute he just boasts that, do you know when they say the frog, if he jumps into the boiling water, he's gonna come out of it? Then he just threw.
Nobody on his whole show staff had ever boiled a frog before. That was funny. The way he looks back at it too.
It's funny. He looks back at it. It's like, I honestly. He looks back at it like, I honestly know they thought they would have jumped.
No, he actually did a really good segment on George Soros and still stands up today.
These guys are like so. I mean, this is.
So there's an official website for the Bilderberg now. There wasn't before, but there is
public relations now.
And you know what they say? Here's their paragraph about what they are. Since its inaugural meeting in 1954, Bilderberg has been an annual forum for informal discussions designated to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Every year, between 120 to 150 political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia, and media are invited to take part in the meeting. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. 1/3 from politics and government, and the rest from other fields. The meeting is a forum of informal discussion about megatrends and major issues facing the world. The meetings are held under the Chatham House Rule, which states the participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers, nor of any of participants may be revealed. Thanks to the private nature of the meeting, the participants are not bound by any conventions of their office or by pre-agreed positions. As such, they take time to listen, reflect, gather insights. There is no detailed agenda, no resolutions are proposed, no votes are taken, and no policy statements are issued.
Oh, well, I guess nothing to see here then.
Yeah, right?
Don't worry, guys. We're not doing... There's no eating babies. There is no planning who the president's going to be. Don't worry about
They
that.
even tell you the 2018 Bilderberg meeting took place from June 7th to the 10th in Turin, Italy. A press release including the list of topics and participants can be found here. Sure.
Well, guys, it's getting late for me. I think I'm gonna hit the haystack.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
Bye, Kelsey.
All right, guys.
Good night, Kelsey,
See
and
you
everyone
tonight.
else. Have a wonderful night. All
Hey,
you guys.
Good night.
watch the Glenn Beck
Tomorrow.
video before you go to sleep, so you can have a sweet dream before. Yeah, watch the frog. Yeah, watch this. You would be laughing,
dude,
until morning. You come back to the podcast.
What happens when you put a lit firecracker in your mouth? Everybody knows what happens when you put a lit firecracker in your mouth.
Well, you guys have a wonderful night.
You have a good night too.
You too.
See you, homie.
You know, I kind of like.
So they actually listed their topics from last year publicly, and it's kind of a little bit scary. One of them, the post-truth world. That was one of their topics of discussion.
Valin, I mean, so far when it comes to conspiracy theory, how authentic do you think this Bilderberg group is? What do you think is their agenda?
Well, I think that like it's very clear that they want to like be in the know together. Like they want to share information with each other. They want to like make sure that everything is known at the very minimum between them, and cover issues that they think are, you know, of great importance on the world stage, and how that might affect the growth in industry, growth in, you know, different things. But I do think to some extent
they have to be discussing things that are too dangerous to send emails and leave paper trails for. So
well, here's what they say. Here's what they say. Here's their list of topics from last year: populism in Europe.
I don't believe that. They can put anything.
Oh, well, I know, but I'm just telling you what they say. The inequality challenge, the future of work, artificial intelligence, the U.S. before midterms, free trade, U.S. world leadership, Russia, quantum computing, Saudi Arabia and Iran, the post-truth world, and current events. So those were the topics that they say that they talked about.
Seems like, you know, like gaslighting at best.
Yeah, but I found the post-truth world to be really fascinating because, like, a lot of people believe we live in a post-truth world where people don't care about the truth or facts
I think,
and stuff like that. So
if people like Alex Jones and the organization of Fox News, when they get so famous, I think so many people like to listen to entertainment rather than actually listening to the truth, and I think yes, in like so far what we can see in America, the entertainment is much popular than the news itself. I mean, Fox News kind of, as I said before, owned the competition. Not many people are interested in CBS. Was it CBS? Yes, CBS. And they are not that interested in BBC or ABC. You know, the actual kind of unbiased news organization. Now,
BBC is not unbiased.
When they say something like we're discussing the post-truth world, what they mean is we're discussing how to still control the narrative now that nobody believes in the truth.
Yeah.
Like, they're used to being able to just air something on the news and people believe it, but now that doesn't happen anymore, so they need a new strategy.
BBC and ABC compared to CBS has a certain kind of bias inside them, but
BBC is very left-leaning, extremely.
BBC?
Extremely left-leaning. Yes.
Yeah,
extremely.
I mean,
and you can see this.
So
you can see this in their programming. You can see it in their programming very clearly.
Obviously,
they're left leaning.
yeah,
Watch Doctor Who. Like they literally had a commercial where they broke a glass ceiling. Like they were like, and it was just so obvious. It was like they had the woman walk
and everyone
out.
knows it's a conservative ideal to not let people of color or women into high.
That's not
positions.
the point. That's not the
I'm
point.
just not sure why that's left leaning.
It's left leaning because
left-leaning to believe that they still need to break a ceiling,
break a glass ceiling,
like they're not equal.
For some reason, women are not actors when they are. I mean, and for some reason, it's like it's assumed that all conservatives hate the idea of a woman doctor. That's not true at all. But that's
your
put
assumption.
This
that's
out
not an
there.
assumption BBC's made.
It's an assumption that
they're liberal.
You're trying to point out. No, I mean that's begging the question. Okay. I'm just maybe the BBC's biased. I'm just saying that
Extremely
this idea that they must be biased because.
Have you watched Doctor Who? Have you watched it?
Yes, I have. I'm just saying. Look. I'm only making one. Look, let me finish. Okay. I'm making one single. I know it's very frustrating.
People.
It's very
just
frustrating
likes to contradict people. He said one point, and now you're acting like he only had one point. You interrupted him after his first point.
Look, guys, if you guys want an echo chamber, I'll leave. But I mean, I thought this was.
No, I'm trying to talk to you, but it's hard with a lot of voices.
It's hard to what? I haven't been able to finish my point.
Victor,
you guys got triggered, and now I'm just trying to finish my point.
Just hold on.
I'm gonna look. You guys
Victor,
are obviously.
No, I was gonna tell Victor to quiet down so I could hear you. I want to hear you. So just wait a second. Victor, I just want to hear him. So just don't say anything for a little while so I can hear what he has to say. Okay? See? He left.
The guy is an asshole.
Well, I was trying to give him the time of day, but he clearly
he's just contradictory to every single thing I say, or anyone, mostly me. He's combative.
Wait, did he leave or did he get kicked?
He left.
So
okay.
He obviously he's one of those guys that has a temper. I think we shouldn't kind of like let him.
I'm not beholden to his temper,
I don't
you know.
like him.
No, I mean every news organization is biased. Like
we all got to fight for time.
Republican news stations, and or I should say conservative and left-leaning stations. They're all biased, and to not recognize that there is bias in news reporting in the media today is to be blind. Like it's just a case. So whether
on either side, you can't find a source. You know what I mean? But
so whether you're conservative or you're liberal, to deny the fact that like Fox News is extremely biased, or to deny the fact that the BBC is extremely biased, is to deny reality. Like it's just the case.
You should be able to call any news station biased, and everybody knows that's the truth. It's one way or the other. But they're
so
all
far, I've only found one news source that's not biased, and that's because literally what they do is they gather the news from multiple sources around both the internet and the and the separate news stations, and then they just tell you what happened. They don't talk about it. They don't say this is what we think about it. They just say, "Hey, this happened." Like so. And it's
even like the news wires, they like omit stuff too.
By the way, Newsy is a good source for unbiased news. Newsy.
Because I know, like the AP, they've been accused of being very selective with the stories that they leave out, and that's like supposedly the most reliable news wire in the whole world.
Yeah, so here, let me send it to you. Actually, it's called Newsy here.
I honestly I think the best news wire is Twitter. As long as you subscribe to
Are you kidding me?
No, as long as you subscribe to a very of different kinds of people and stuff. Whenever somebody sees something important, they post it. You know, you might get some repetition and stuff, but you get literally people shooting videos in Saudi Arabia on their phones and uploading it. You know what I mean?
So-
like you get good
So,
stuff, I think.
for instance, this newsy site has like an article. It says FBI investigate whether Trump was working on Russia's behalf. That's all it says. Doesn't say what they think about. And then like you read the article or you watch the 1 minute video that they have, and it literally just says, "Hey, there's this accusation, and the FBI is investigating it, and here's the information." Like it doesn't. They don't, throw in any opinions or anything.
Yesterday when he provided the evidence to refute that video, I've never ever that video never existed as far as I was concerned until that dude made his rebuttal. So I wrote him a DM and thanked him for stopping me from spreading propaganda. You know what I mean? So I thought we were going to be cordial after that, but no, he just if you're somebody who is sure of what he thinks and what he says,
I think there was a small issue. I do think there's a small issue, Victor, where like he was trying to say something and then you spoke up and then someone else spoke up and it was
but he's like me, like we if you're talking, sometimes the beginning of my sentence will come out and I'll realize I'm interrupting and I'll stop, but he doesn't stop. He'll just keep pushing and then he'll accuse you of interrupting him.
Yeah, I wanted to try to just do a singular conversation between me and him for like a couple minutes, but that didn't happen.
He has a little bit of temper, So there are so many. I've my experience today. I went to this atheist server to listen to their conversation today, and this atheist woman, so far I think like. So far, I want to thank Victor and Valin and our podcast member David for being as rational and as nice as possible, because now I see that our server is incredibly organized compared to other servers, and we are very nice. We are like friends to each other. I went to other servers, there is really not much of an order. People constantly interrupt each other. They just openly join chats. Talk with each other, then they leave chats without making any point. I've been in the server. I try to like have a rational conversation with an atheist woman. She just shouted at me over and over again until we just ended up like, okay, I'm out of here. I can't argue with you. And I don't want to argue with you. I don't have time for this kind of like conversation. We have a very, very friendly. And organized server.
He ducks out and back in sometimes.
Doesn't even say goodbye.
That usually means he's coming back, though.
Okay. I guess he's one of those insomniac kind of people. Takes.
Well, I might be going soon. That's why I said that, because I need to actually try to get sleep tonight.
You have to
for once.
Yeah, Dave talked me into trying to keep him company during his overtime period, and I was up way too late last night.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm gonna not have to do overtime on Saturdays anymore. That would be nice. Can actually have time to do other stuff. Like 1 day off is not good.
At this point, Valin, you want to like?
I'm not tired, but I need to sleep. Like,
but you saw.
Because I have to, I go to work in the afternoon, but I'd like to have some time before work to get stuff done tomorrow. In
the podcast, so far we decided to, like to have like 1 hour, 2 hour kind of thing, and our members like we talk way much more than that. So basically. It is enough. It is based on the choice of the people, because sometimes there is an atheist in here just wants some guidance, or somebody like Oswald wants to speak about a vegan life and how healthy it is and how good it is for animals not to their rights not to be taken away.
Get like a guest perspective and then expound on it.
I was just scrolling while you were talking and stuff about that. It's funny. I was scrolling through the news on Newsy, and there's this article that says new federal guidelines encourage Americans to move more. It's like, duh. Do we need federal health guidelines that tell us, hey, get up off your butt and do something?
Oh, hey,
do we
did I
really
send
need
you the
that?
Did I send you the Kaba Stone video, Valen? I know I didn't send it to a ref yet.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're referring to. I don't think I was here for it.
Locust swarm at the Kaba Stone.
What's the Kaba Stone?
The Muslim idol.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just was like, wait. Funny, I guess.
I think I'm gonna go get some sleep.
You should do that.
Yeah,
So
me
far
too.
it's been nice. But the last thing is that, guys, I mean, I've recorded this like last hour of the conversation so far. Yeah, today.
Today? Today was not a good one to record, man. Holy crap!
It is basically an experiment. Basically, just an experiment. I want to like.
Well, you should also maybe like have a room, just as a general like warning to you. You should have a room that says live recording, so that people know that you're being recorded.
We did made a podcast voice room. Basically, people understand what it is. But
But you're not gonna upload the video or the audio from today,
I'm going to upload it, but I'm not going to give it to anybody. It is an experiment, and I'm going to like delete it. I want to like give it to David, to Valin, to you, to Benjos, to Dave, asking your opinion. How was the podcast? Was it good? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna keep it private?
I didn't even know this was a podcast. I thought we were just talking. That's the problem, right? I think
but,
you need to make it more planned and also have it be locked down. So
yeah, because I definitely don't want like bickering with that dude being uploaded on the internet, so we can just relive the moments.
All right,
I don't
guys,
want my name attached
I'm
to
gonna
that.
head out. Thanks for the conversation. I'll see you guys later.
Yes.
Have a good
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so just I'd recommend just whenever you're recording, make sure to be in the recording room. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've been in this podcast server. This such weird thing, Brett Keane show, and the Brett Keane server. This guy does not say to anybody that he is recording a podcast. And he's like, hold on, he's like openly 24/7 on Discord. No, I don't think 24/7, but a long time on Discord. He's online, and he's just talking to people. And I went there. They openly cuss at each other. They use really bad language. The guy is not an atheist, but they have a really horrible like way of talking to people, and they don't say any. What is so funny is that there is absolutely nothing over there saying that okay, we are making this podcast for the people. So
is this guy Christian?
Yeah, he's Christian.
Why does he have a picture of Jesus with the crown?
Yeah, he's Christian, but it is so funny. Anybody who joins his podcast, hold on. I mean, it is not in the voice.
I want to head out, but before I do, Benjos, I just wanted to ask you, because we've talked a little bit at this point. I just want to ask you, how old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 26.
You're 26? Okay, cool. We're in the same age range.
I'm gonna go too, guys.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah,
night, everybody.
Talk to you guys
I'll see you
tomorrow. Goodbye so far. Yeah. Good night.
Okay, have a good night, everybody.
No.
Your Majesty, you're still here?
Oh yeah, I am.
Majesty.
How you
You
doing?
know that you make my username look bad.
You mean
yeah
you make my username look bad?
I should
loyal subject?
remove the crown and put on some.
Thank you.
Hold on. I should remove the crown next to my thing and put something else. You know, put some.
You should put like a government thing because the only Your Majesty around here is your boy
What
Joe.
Statue of Liberty actually looks good or something? I wanna put something funny.
Okay, do
Put
it.
something funny next to my thing, so people actually see it's like funny. Like this would be good. This.
Dude, this server is fucking hilarious. They're so confused when I talk.
You're so.
They're like, what the hell? What does that mean? Like, they're not used to Australians talking, so every time I say something, they get confused.
All the guys in the chat,
I always come around and chat shit the whole time, and they're like, huh? What does he mean?
I mean, our guys. You're talking about our guys?
Yeah, your guys.
Yeah, your guys.
What do you talk about?
They'll be talking about
something, and I'll come in. Like, for example, a guy was a full-blown atheist earlier, and I called him a plank because I was like, you literally are just choosing to not believe for no reason. Like, you could at least be an agnostic atheist. And then he tried telling me I didn't have a point, and then another guy's like, no, what the fuck? You said you're atheist. He's right. He's like, oh, by saying atheist, it should mean, like, he was like, oh, it should mean that I'm agnostic atheist. And it's like, no, it can't. You have to say the fucking word, otherwise you don't believe it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so funny.
All I'm doing is just trolling the big guys, and like one of them said he'd been through like 7 computers in 7 years. So I was like, how many fucking porn viruses do you get?
Yeah, so
I'm taking the piss while they go serious, so at least there's some cunt in here who does the opposite.
Also, I would appreciate if you don't troll people much here, because it is kind of like a podcast. Your voice actually goes on YouTube eventually, and people are going to like see you over there. Yeah.
I was earlier. I was like, yeah, Jesus is a fucking legend, and they got tilted like, don't talk about Jesus like that. I'm like, what? Jesus is a fucking legend. I didn't get it because I'm like complimenting the boy, like the bloke.
You do have a very strong accent. Half of the words that you actually say, I don't understand. Which city do you actually live in Australia?
Queensland. I can dye my accent down if you want, so you can understand me a little better.
You do.
See what happens if I make my accent a little bit more neutral for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I wanna hear that good accent.
Okay, epic. Thank you. You managed to